Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Well, shit, probably ought to turn the damn microphone on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. You know, folks, sometimes it takes a month to resurrect from the dead, but you know, what the hell? Here you go. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see here. When MJ said he wasn't completely dead, I didn't think it would be so soon. Well, you know, the thing is, you know, you can take the podcast out of the boy, but you can't take the boy out of the podcast or some shit like that. I don't know. With me tonight, of course, is the one and only, the beautiful bearded one, Mr. Rich Brautman.
What's up, brush heads? Thanks for that. Pleasure to be here with you, John.
Well, I'll tell you what. I didn't think I'd be back this soon either. So let's talk a little bit about this. First off, because of the guy I've got with me, I'm drinking this beautiful beer here tonight. This is from Resurgence Beer Company, Brewing Company, Imperial Vanilla Cappuccino Pumpkin Ale. Literally comes with a teenage white girl with every bottle. So it's from Resurgence on Niagara Street in Buffalo, New York. It has a government warning. One of it should be that it's 13.3% alcohol by volume. But don't let this dark amber beer deceive you. The aroma of vanilla, fresh roasted coffee, and pumpkin bread with wisps of cherry invite you and then kick you straight in the liver. The body is soft, creamy smooth with flavors of French vanilla accented by notes of cinnamon and toast. Cinnamon toast crunch. Leaving you warm and fuzzy inside and probably incapable of painting.
It actually helps a lot with painting.
You know what? I am so unprepared. I didn't even pull the damn green screen up. It's like, there's all my goddamn board games. See, it was supposed to make it look like I was like, yo, I'm out there with the cats and everything. No, I can't remember to pull the green screen in because I'm professional. You know, go away for a month, Rich. You're fucking worthless when you get back.
I know. They all forgot you. So, it happens. I mean, there's only 10 people watching already.
It's good to be back, brushheads. It's good to be back. So I'm going to try this now. It is, man, why am I not putting this in a glass?
Oh my God, you heathen.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Let me see if I can get Chuck to bring me a glass.
Yeah.
Hey, Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck.
Can you bring me a glass, please? Okay, I think he's going to bring me a glass. What do you drink tonight, buddy?
This is interesting, John.
Yeah.
You hit a mute button on your microphone, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, and I still heard you just very, very quietly.
That's great.
So that means something else is picking up your audio. But whatever, I don't hear the echo.
So basically, I think what this comes down to is the CIA has always got a. Thanks, buddy. Yep. Appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. That was Troll Chuck. Probably didn't see him. Maybe you did. See if you can.
Maybe it's those. You must have like secret Magravs under the table or something.
Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen. Do we have a fucking show for you tonight?
So here's what I'm drinking. Now back on topic here.
Look at that.
This is interesting, and I know it looks weird.
It looks very fancy schmancy.
Grand Imperial Porter comes from Broar Amber. The problem is the majority of it's a Polish, so I can't really read it. However, it's a chocolate Imperial Porter. Comes in at 7.2. I've never seen it anywhere outside of the Polish areas of Buffalo.
Oh, well, there you go.
And it's look, this is a gorgeous bottle, and it's literally $2 and change.
No shit. You know what model pairs best with Prolar or whatever the fuck that beer was from? A Grolar. You know, you could have a Grolar with your Prolar on your table when you're playing. There you go. So
there you go.
Thanks for welcoming the show back, Rich.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hey, Ron.
Ron. Mm-hmm.
God damn, this is good.
Look how dark that bastard is. And that's a porter. It's not even a stout.
Fuck yeah, man. Kick it right square in the dick. Man, I'll tell you what, this is some good shit right here. This is I'm drinking this in one of the we had these guys on that were running a Kickstarter to make glasses. And so this is a D20 glass. If you drink the whole thing, you get to have a 20 on your roll. So
that would be dangerous in my gaming group.
RPGs last like one encounter and you're all throwing up into a bucket or something. So, Congo Jorgman says he's got a Grolar that needs to be painted. Well, look, there's a show that you can watch and drink and paint to again.
The best. Oh, I should pull up a certain website so we can reference it here.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do some painting. The show's only going to be differences. Painting with Menoth John 2.0 versus Painting with Menoth John original style. One, we're not going to be a 90-minute show. 90 minutes is an awfully long time. And then when you added the pre-ramble in on that, that puts you up at a full 2 hours. And I'll be honest with you, I don't even want to commit to that much time. So we're going to have it be an hour, and we're going to get the old news shit out of the way right away now. But so you see Rich is here and John Spencer is not. That doesn't mean John Spencer's never going to be on. I mean, this is the house that John and John built, and so I'm going to have him on. It's just I don't want to commit to the same person all the time, nor do I necessarily want to commit to like a real schedule, because
it's almost like you're doing this for fun after you retired.
Kind of.
Yeah. There's I think I was going to actually suggest to you the other day that a rotating co-host would be cool. I think
that'd be great. And and by God, having John on would be amazing. And I need to get back to John, and I feel bad for not having done it, because I'm sure he's sitting there going, that fucking Christensen hasn't even talked to me about this. And it's like, well, first off, I've been some places since the last time we were all together. One of them being China, and I have a few things to say about China, none of which are necessarily good. And then I have a lot to say about Italy, which is where I just got back from, and I have a lot of good things to say about Italy and almost no bad things to say about Italy. But what's interesting is the bad thing about Italy is one of the many bad things about China. So we'll talk briefly about that. And then I've repositioned the camera rig so that it's got like a 90% lower chance of picking up a picture of my crotch.
Outstanding.
Crotch cam could come back. We don't know, but so Clockwork Jester, welcome. Glad you could make it. I don't really know how many people are watching us. So
we're up to 15 already.
Wow, that's great. Well, thanks everybody for coming back. That's super sweet. You want to spend Monday. I didn't want to do this on Sunday night because I'll be damned if I'm going to step on Gonzo and John's toes. And now they've got Kathy Wapple on the show, who, for those of you who have not had a chance to meet Kathy, is a sweetheart and one of my all-time favorite people. And by the way, ridiculously fucking talented painter. And so is her husband, and who's James Wapple, who people may know. And so there you go. So I didn't want to do it on Sunday night, so I thought, well, Monday night. Monday Night Football, right? Yeah. Who the fuck watches football around here, though?
Oh, I don't know. I'm in the minority. I live in a football town, and I hate football, but that's me.
That's okay. It's all right. And I decided that rather than rehash everything, I invited Snacky and Theory, which you can see over here, to comment on the show.
It's like
go ahead.
Awful stuffed versions of your cat.
Right.
They don't move.
They're very still during the show. So don't worry, I have not killed my cats and stuffed them. It's really just a picture. So, but I thought that, we'll do this again. How often am I going to do the show? I don't know. Monthly? Who knows? Maybe twice a month. I don't know. I don't really care. It's not going to be one of these things that's just going to happen all the time, because I'll be honest with you, at the end of the original show when I was doing it weekly, it was killing my soul something hard. What are things that are not going to happen? As insanely successful as the all-day show was from a charity standpoint, it is never going to happen again. It was a good chunk of why I had to retire the first show as it was, because I split it up all into individuals and then had to edit it. And then, anyway, I mean, I don't like doing one show, let alone getting hit with 15 of them immediately. So, but, we still got Luchador Bottle Opener. Hey, man. He'll come in for the occasional stop by and things like that. We're not doing a Patreon. We're not doing sponsorships. It's just a thing I'm going to do on Monday nights sometimes. So, anyway, there you go.
There you go.
Yep. So, this is the new and improved camera. This is it's the same camera, but it's mounted differently. So I think we're going to be able to see me actually doing painting maybe a little bit better. Let me turn on the light here. There we go. Ooh, bright.
Yeah, that does look good.
So I think
there's no drunken like C6 swaying. So
I know, right? That was really
I'm
irritating back in the day. So
yeah,
now I've got it like mounted straight above the table. I bet you this is how professional people do it, Rich.
I bet it is. I wonder what they're like.
I know, right? So, and this is Himera, and this was the model we wrapped the old show up with, and this is Helios, the show we're going to start the new version on, and I'm going to paint some shit and talk. We only got an hour here, and we have a lot to talk about, don't we, Rich?
Yeah, we do. I'd actually like to start that off with a shameless plug while
Please
you're putting on the blue glove of love.
I'm putting on 2 blue gloves of love today, because
oh God, you're gonna get both hands in there.
Oh fuck yeah, you know. sometimes this is a painting technique for y'all when you're working on a model as big as Himera, well, not Himera, but Helios. Sometimes you gotta really grab it right in the shoulder pads, and we're not going to do that too hard. But we want to make sure that we're gentle and we care for it. And you know, sometimes we got to check it for its prostate back here, and so you got to give it all that. So anyway, shameless plug, buddy. Go for it.
Check out its giant metal O-ring. Shameless plug. In case you haven't heard, Buffalo War Machine has kind of a big food machine event.
The Deuce, you say?
Yes, and we will be doing it this year like we do every year. And it's going to be on November 18th. I understand the viewership for this is probably not in commuting range for a day tournament in Buffalo.
Probably not.
However, that's fine. We take online donations.
Mm-hmm.
You can donate, and I'm going to make sure I don't screw this up. Buffalo Food Machine, all one word, at gmail.com.
There you go.
And actually, if you look it up on YouTube, I put together a kind of comical commercial for that.
You did a great job.
And oh, thank you. It starts off with the most heart-wrenching song you can imagine, and that's the Sarah McLachlan tune you see on TV or used to see on TV. Yeah. I don't think it's on there anymore. So, anyway, it's for a good cause. Food Bank of Western New York. It gets fucking cold up here, in case you haven't noticed. So, any food donations you can make would be good, so people don't have to choose between things like food and heat. Yes, that's a real thing that happens. So, if you could. BuffaloFoodMachine at gmail.com. Any questions, please direct them to me. Thank you very much.
So, I mean, the Buffalo Food Machine, folks, is absolutely the inspiration for John Con. John Con is a very small event. We did really great. We thought we did really great. We raised over $1,100 for basically the food bank of Racine. You guys way below that, way the hell out of the water. How many thousands of dollars?
That was such a good event. We had such a good time.
Oh yeah, that's good times. What the Lays one was pretty cool. There will be a John Con 2018, I'm sure. But how much money have you guys been averaging on your food machine event there in the below?
Oh my God, I don't know how much like dollars because they usually measure it in cans. Donated.
Okay.
I believe last year we were somewhere around like 21,000.
Wow.
Oh yeah, we like crush everyone. Like it's crazy. Like the people that donate are out of their minds. But then again, like last year we had a 50-point circle list with Una 2 and whatever the big bird is. I can't remember what it's called.
The Wraith chicken. I don't know.
The chicken. Yeah. The Wraith chicken. And it was all painted by different members of Privateer. So
that's
just saying. That's the kind of caliber of prizes we have.
I hear they got 1 or 2 decent painters there, Privateer too.
Yeah, I hear that. I believe Una 2 was painted by Dallas himself. Yeah.
Man, I'm going to tell you what. For those of you folks, I mean, I've talked about it on the show before. If you're not watching Dallas's videos on how to paint shit, you are fucking up in a big way. That guy can paint the shit out of stuff, and he's giving you all the tips. I get on here and talk smack, and I don't know. I throw some paint on things, and sometimes they turn out better than others. Whatever. But that guy, he's got the serious skills, and he's a damn good teacher. And fuck, his voice is like all Bob Ross and shit. I feel like putting on Barry White and starting a candle when I hear it. That guy gets me fucking aroused. I'm telling you.
Wow.
Probably more information.
Okay, so chat room joke of the evening so far. CT Samurai X. The prostate check joke wasn't the shameless plug. LOL.
Oh, I see what you did there. That's good. That's good. My audience hasn't missed a fucking beat. Love this audience. Best fans in the biz.
Absolutely not. Question from the room. Chris Wells. Mouth John. Hi guys. What brushes are you using tonight?
I am using a Raphael 8404, and this one right now is a number 2. I'm going to probably stop using a number 2 here in a second because I realize I should be using a number 1 for what I'm working on right this second. But I love me some Raphael 8404. It is my go-to brush after the Winsor Newton Series 7s kind of went to shit in a handbasket not that long ago. And by not that long ago, probably about 3-4 years ago. The Winsor Newtons used to be the creme de la creme, and I still have a few of them kicking around in the collection. But they had a problem with importation to the United States because they are sable brushes. And they were, I guess, I don't know, they're fucking some people that didn't like that rat fur was being used or whatever on their brush. And they got all clutched up about it, and then we couldn't have them anymore. And I don't know what they did, but they started being able to import them again, but they were never quite the same. I don't know if they got it like generic fucking rats or whatever the fuck they had.
I'm actually looking it up right now because I'm pretty curious here.
Yeah. Are you rat curious?
A Kolinsky sable hair brush, also known as red sable or sable hairbrush, is a fine artist's paintbrush. The hair is obtained from the tail of the Kolinsky, a species of weasel, rather than an actual sable.
Get that weasel. Pop, you know what? They try to pluck the damn tail, and it goes pop goes the weasel.
Yep. So yeah. Other news. Let's see. I have played Zero Company of Iron, which I will hopefully rectify tomorrow.
Yes.
Going to be playing with co-host from my show, DVK.
Nice.
And then, of course, after game night, what do? We go get Indian food. So that'll be the highlight of my night tomorrow.
It's a fine tradition that I wish I was going to take part in.
Oh, you would love it. Go get tikka masala after you have a good game of War Machine.
Some of that lamb tikka masala, I'll tell you what. Those fuckers in India, they got it figured out as far as their food's concerned.
Oh, they do.
There's so many goddamn people in India. Holy shit. Speaking of places that have lots of fucking people in it, let me tell you a little bit about China.
Oh, here we go.
Look at that. Wasn't some that was professional podcasting right there. You know, that call that a segue in the business. Rich, were you aware that they call that a segue in the business?
I was aware. Believe it or not.
You're a professional podcaster too. I mean, you know these things. You know what you guys didn't see was the half an hour Rich and I spent unfucking my audio rig. Honestly,
literally
God.
With about, I don't know, 90 seconds to go, we got it working.
Yeah, which surprises none of our long-term listeners. It's like, not 30 seconds. Fuck, you guys had all afternoon then. You didn't really bring it. You didn't really bring it across in the last few seconds. No, it was bad.
It never changes. It never changes at all.
Not even a little.
My favorite was getting DVK's video to work while he was a guest during the pre-ramble remotely.
Yeah, so
that was my favorite.
That's good times. That's some good times. I'll tell you what. I appreciate you unfucking this thing because the show's only an hour long, and if we spent like literally part of the show unfucking the audio. By the way, this is an explicit podcast. I'm probably gonna swear a lot. You know, I thought about bringing the show back in a clean form so like people could listen to it with their kids and stuff.
Yeah, that would last about 60 fucking seconds.
That didn't last even that long on this show. It started off when I fucked up the entrance. I was gonna play this intro. Tell me, I don't know if you can hear this, Rich, but I was gonna play this intro.
Nope, can't hear it.
No,
sorry. So, as you were gonna say about countries with a lot of people in them.
Yeah, I was listening. I played the Obama entrance for Retribution because I was. I'm painting Rhett tonight. So what I was going to say about countries that have a lot of a lot of fucking people. China's got a lot of people. And so let me tell you guys, one of the things that has come up after one of the reasons why I put the show on hold there, or killed it, or did whatever I did, retired the show so that I could have people make audio and stuff and tell me how awesome I was, is I had some pretty big trips coming up, and one of them was to China. And China has a lot of fucking people in it. And so I'm as you guys know, I'm an engineer for Starbucks, and we're building these new reserve roasteries all over the world. We're building one in Shanghai. We're building one in Tokyo, Milan, Italy. More on that later. New York, Chicago, and all that kind of good stuff. And so I was sent to China to work on the startup. And I got there, and the first thing I noticed upon arriving in China was the smell. And Rich, do you have any idea what China might smell like?
I would imagine the majority of it smells like the great outdoors. However, the portion you were in, I'm guessing, did not.
It did not smell like the great outdoors unless you were at an outdoor outhouse. Perhaps a porta-john, if you will, because China smells like cigarette smoke and urine. Literally from the time you get off the plane to the time, I don't know what's going on, but it is an unpleasant place and I can almost hear my visa getting revoked in the background. But it's not pleasant, and it's hot. It's really, really hot. It's the time that I was there, which was in August, the end of August, it was 113 heat index.
Oh, that's awful.
So it was in the mid 90s for temperature, and it was incredibly bad. I've never experienced anything like it. I mean, I don't deal with heat very well because I come with the fur coat already installed.
It's great in the winter, not so much every other season.
Not so much in a place where Satan's asshole has literally erupted upon the entire Yangtze River Valley or whatever the fuck river it is that goes around Shanghai. It's just not good. And then on top of that, everything wants you dead. They talk about Australia trying to kill you. Bullshit. China wants your shit dead now. Between the electric scooters that are perfectly quiet and that they're carrying literally the same amount of cargo tonnage as an 18-wheeler. And you can't hear them coming. They're driving on the side. I'm not making this stuff up, folks. They're driving it on the sidewalk the wrong way, up the wrong way in traffic. It's just crazy talk. And I got to switch paintbrushes. I'm not happy with this paint. And all I'm doing is painting silver knobs. Man, I'm telling you.
Yeah, but once you put that special, the top coat dealie on it, it'll work.
Yeah, well, actually on this one, I'm going to, I want to do the jewels like how I did on this one. So what I'm going to do after the silver is actually I wash it black. I wash it down to this very dark color, and then I build it back up into the jewel. So this is like the base coat of that. And I don't know if you guys can see it on here, but there's like a fucking million of these damn power nodules on this thing.
Yeah, they're
everywhere. You've painted yours already, haven't you?
Yeah, but mine's a lot different paint scheme than that. And Patrico Agostino painted mine.
Okay.
So it matched the red jacks that I painted. And it's solid black with blue glow around everything. It's a very, very easy paint scheme to do. I did my Hyperion in the same scheme, and it took me like 2 hours total or something. Yeah. It's really fast.
I'm gonna spend 2 hours playing fuck around with these power nodules.
Yeah, probably. So let me think. I haven't done much traveling lately. I mean, outside of like Syracuse, New York.
I bet you.
And you know where I did go?
Where did you go?
I went here to Amagang Brewing.
Oh, nice.
A few weeks ago.
Tell us about Cooperstown, New York, would you?
Yeah, Cooperstown is a small town where the Baseball Hall of Fame resides, if you're a fan of that kind of thing. I am not, in the slightest. Um,
That's
we
the
went
one
out
with
there,
the
wife,
egg-shaped
Emily.
ball,
What's
right?
that?
That's the one with the egg-shaped ball that they hit through the goalposts
Yep, with a stick.
with a stick. Yeah.
Um, Wife Emily and I went out there, and oh, what a gorgeous brewery! Like set in the countryside with like these rolling hills behind it. You know, the whole 9 yards. And they know it's so picturesque because when you pull up, there are 3 parking spots on the entrance, and there's a sign that says those spots are for taking photos.
Okay, so here's obviously we have fucked up our lives, Rich.
Oh, I know.
I work in the 8th level of hell, making coffee beans turn brown in Satan's asshole, and you're trapped like trying to unfuck an IT system so that grandma doesn't roll down the damn stairs and die.
Yeah. I don't know why we don't own one of these like picturesque breweries. You know, that'd be nice.
Meanwhile, Amagong's like, "What up, dog? I'm just making beer in God's country. Fuck it." Thanks.
Wow.
Man. Yeah.
So yeah. Chris Wells says it's also home to the National Agricultural Museum. I did not know that.
Well, that's fantastic.
I think maybe next time I'll check that out.
What's the defect with this one, Napoleon? That cow got into the onions.
What?
Have you seen Napoleon Dynamite?
Yeah, but I don't remember that line. I just remember the stupid lines everyone repeated all the time.
Remember when he was at the Future Farmers of America and he was drinking the milk? He was doing.
Oh yeah.
This one tastes like he got into onions.
Yes, I do remember this.
I've seen it like 25 times.
I only know are the stupid lines. Tina, eat your food and whatever else.
Yeah.
So after we went to a beer fest, a lot of good local stuff. Spent the night in Utica, New York. Nice. Very, very nice, I know. Shout out to the Central New York War Machine Group. Nice. And yeah. So while I was there, you were in a much better place.
Yes. So here's a hint. Milan, Italy does not smell like cigarettes and urine when you get off the plane. It does smell like cigarettes, however. Here's the deal, folks. And this is a shout out to the entire country of Italy. Please stop smoking. Just stop. Because if you didn't smoke, and by smoke I mean smoke everything. There's just smoke everywhere. And if you didn't do that, you'd be like paradise on earth. It's the food is incredible. The architecture is incredible. The gelato is every 5 feet, and it's all knock your socks off good. The food is just off the fucking hook. Pizza as far as the eye can see. And good pizza, not bullshit pizza. Even the bullshit pizza is good there.
Even the bullshit pizza is you know the line about pizza, right?
What's that?
Pizza is like sex. Even when it's mediocre, yeah. It's still good.
Still pretty good. It's funny how I became more bourgeois as the 2 weeks. So I spent 2 weeks in Milan, and that's the Milan Roastery is one of my primary projects that I'm working on. So I'm going to be the fella that goes over and actually starts it up. I know, right? Cry for me, Argentina.
Yeah. And I'm just waiting for that IT consultant position. Just saying.
I know, right? It was the worst place I had pizza was this place called Spontini. And the first night I went there, I was like, holy fuck, this is amazing pizza. Give me more. I'll even eat here every night. And then I experienced some other places and I went, Spontini, you're fucking dog food. Because literally everywhere else was better. And I didn't realize it until I got to realize that every cafe along the street was fucking amazing. Except for the fact that everyone was smoking into your food. It's like
it's so terrible.
Oh my god! I just wanted to start punching people by the time close to the end. Like I was sending pictures to people, going, "This is the person I will murder next. because they are ruining my cafe experience in Milan with their smoke. Oh, my God. So I visited my hotel was a block off of this thing called the Duomo, which is this big square that like Coach and all the big fashion houses and stuff, I don't know. Name a fashion house that sounds Italian and they're there. And it was interesting because I learned something about possibly why nationalism and racism is a problem in Europe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I actually this was an insight. So, in Milan, and I maybe this is in other places in Europe, there are roving gangs of immigrants that are trying to sell you string to put around your wrist, like these like friendship bracelet things.
What?
Yes. And they're like multicolored, and all of the people who are selling them are from like African countries.
Really?
And they're literally the only people of color that you will see. And they come up to you and they'll start talking to you and being friendly and stuff like that. And they will like, here, offer you this string. Oh, it's Hakuna Matata and all this bullshit. Okay? Yeah, it turns out that the true translation for Hakuna Matata is give me money. And it took me 10 euros to get this one guy off my ass who had tied 2 pieces of string around my wrist and couldn't say and just couldn't stop asking for more until I finally ripped the strings off and threw them at him and go, you need to go away from me right now. Now, this guy was approximately 6 inches to a foot taller than I am. But I had that kind of bravery that only comes from getting taken advantage of on the street.
I had a run in like that in what country was I in? I don't know if I can't remember if it, no, it was Guam. That's right. I thought it was Turkey for a second, but no, it was when I was in Guam. There was like a crowd of people pushing bullshit kind of thing on you. I remember that.
There was this really swinging park that I would go to. It was next to a castle. And you go into the castle and there's like all these little, they call them Gato del Libre, free cats. They are protected by law. You can't fuck with the cats.
Oh. So the cats are in a state of freedom. Not that the cats are free.
I think they're free too. But I think they'd be fine with you if you talk to the people that help take care of them. Maybe they would let you adopt them. But they are cats of freedom. I have this picture in my head now of like William Wallace as a cat yelling freedom. Anyway, so the cats live in the castle, and they're super awesome. And I visited them almost every day once I discovered they were a thing that existed. And but I was going with that somewhere. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, I went to the park, and in a 10-minute period, I got accosted by like 6 of these roving gang of string bandits, and their other group are trying to sell you books. And I don't know,
books?
The books people. I figured at this point I had figured out that like anybody that approaches you wants to sell you something for more than it's worth. So I decided to just behind me Satan. And I'm sitting there reading The Dark Tower by an unknown author. You may have heard of him. He's called Stephen King.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah. So I'm reading The Dark Tower, and for fuck's sakes, if 6 people didn't come up to me in a 10-minute time frame, and if I'm Italian, if I'm sitting there and I'm from Milan and I'm a local, I'm like, step the fuck off.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
I finally got to the point where I would look these people square in the eye and go, you need to go away. Because they speak that good at English. They speak better English than I do. And they certainly speak better English than most people in Racine.
Oh, well, there's that.
They also elected this Scott Walker twice, and are about to do it for a third time. No accounting for fucking Rossinians.
Is Paul Ryan up or no?
Paul Ryan comes up whenever. I don't know when he's up.
This is an off year. Never mind.
No, maybe not, because we got that guy down in Kenosha, the steelworker dude, that's running against him.
Oh yeah. Man, I would vote for that guy.
He's super sweet. He has not a chance.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a chance. There was once upon a time this part of the country was fairly democratic. Not so much anymore.
Yep.
They're all like, I got mine, fuck the world. So, anyway.
So let's see. What's
this is,
what's
by
going
the
on
way,
here?
By the way, I'm liberal, okay? Y'all better get used to it, because there's no goddamn Patreon anymore, okay? I'm not getting paid for none of this shit. So you get the unbridled version of me.
Yeah, because you censored yourself before, right?
All right. Kept it all underneath lock and key.
You know what? Beer Machine makes every attempt possible to not be political on the show. Yeah. Occasionally, once in a while, there'll be like a little Trump slight in there.
It's so funny. You got a straight up dyed-in-the-wool anarchist. You got one of my more liberal friends, and then JP, who has come to grips with the fact he's about to meet his maker, and I'm sure didn't have a filter before then either. So
I don't think I've ever heard him restrict what he says to me. So just saying.
I love that guy. Dear God, I love that guy.
Yeah, we have quite the get up. We recorded on Friday.
Nice.
And the episode will be up probably Wednesday, because I have War Machine tomorrow. Excellent. And we had a special guest on via Skype. You may have heard of him, known as the other guy, Adam.
Oh, shut up. They have internets in Montana?
Yeah, and we did it over Skype, and we actually tasted beers together at the same time.
That's really awesome. How's he doing?
He's doing good. He started rubbing in our faces the 7 to 10 breweries he has in town.
Wow, where does he live?
Yeah, exactly. It's called Missoula.
Oh, okay.
Apparently it's like the happening place for beer, and he sent us some stuff to try with him, and holy crap! Like I was impressed.
When are we going to Missoula?
What's that?
When are we going to Missoula?
It's what he was trying to bait us to do, and I said, it doesn't sound like half bad anymore.
No, fucking Montana's beautiful, by the way, just for the record.
I've never been.
Montana's the payoff you get after fucking North Dakota. It is truly the happy ending of the Western swing.
The Western U.S. I've pretty much not been to. Like I've stopped in California. I was in California for a week, actually twice for a week, and Seattle when we were there, and that's it. Otherwise, I haven't been past basic training in Texas. That whole side of the country, I'm not experienced with.
It's like stupid beautiful. It really is.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
I am gripping this thing completely wrong. 7:41. We're 20 minutes from the end of the show, Rich.
Oh, should we talk about some?
We have to.
Some new developments in the world of electricity and power positivity. And hang on, I gotta pull up that post
if there's nothing that this podcast has stood for over the years, it is the fact that we break a lot of technology loose on you guys. When it on a score of 1 to Trump, we are firmly in a 0 when it comes to our commitment to renewable resources. And let's face it, there's nothing more renewable than plasmas.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Before we get into this full tilt, we should have a little disclaimer, because people are going to hear us laughing at this shit pretty hard,
as it deserves to be.
So John is an engineer, a real deal engineer,
chemical engineer.
Yes. You went to school for it, to a real school.
Graduated with a fairly audacious GPA. Not going to put it out there, but I'm going to say, folks, I am qualified as being smart. Okay, I'm smart, not super smart. I'm not super genius. I'm not like Neil deGrasse Tyson motherfucker or nothing like that. But I'm smart enough to know a couple things. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And you've worked for a couple different companies,
Yeah.
so you're well rounded.
Yes.
Now. Yeah. Okay. Very good. My own background, I did 10 years in the Air Force as an avionics technician.
What's an avionics?
That is the study of aircraft guidance systems, instrumentation, all of the shit in the cockpit that you see the pilots use.
Right. So basically, you make pilots good.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. And the back end of those systems, like how they work. I have a degree in avionics.
Nice.
And besides that, so yeah, I know a thing or two about airplanes. You could say.
So, two people with technical backgrounds.
Yes. And after I got out of the Air Force, I changed gears completely. I did do a 2-year stint working for Sprint as a cell phone tech before I started working in IT, information technology, the guy that, fixes your computer and everything is connected to your computer.
He put the sys in Cisco. I don't know what the fuck that means, but it sounded great coming out of my mouth.
That is catchy as all hell. Okay. So yeah, I've done that for 6 years now, 7 years now actually.
Outstanding.
Wow, time goes by. So yeah, so I know a thing or two about computers as well. John and I have been a member of a group on Facebook called Chemtrail Health and Recovery.
It's fucking glorious.
Now, we both laugh heartily about chemtrails because we both know it's extremely fake.
Utter garbage.
I know it's fake.
Utter garbage. It's on a scale of 1 to Alex Jones. It is full on Alex Jones.
Yes. So I know it's fake personally because I understand the science of how an aircraft flies, how a jet engine works, how it stays in the air. Like I know, like, the chemtrail thing makes me extra angry because it's so provably, is that a word?
It's good enough. We just spent the last 10 minutes like building up our technical credibility. You drop provably, which, there you go. Welcome to a painting show that's going to talk about conspiracy theories.
Yeah. So we know, I know it's fake. So we join this group. We troll people. It's hilarious.
It's amazing.
Someone by the name of Tin Kanzler.
God bless her.
I don't think that's his real name, John.
That's a her. It's a her. Tin Kanzler is a her, and she is from some fucking place in Germany.
Okay.
I looked it up. She's like 3 hours from Milan by train.
Oh, really?
You got to get to the other side of the mountain, which makes it kind of a pain in the dick. But other than that, so anyway, Tin Kanzler.
So Tin Kanzler shares a story from someone else that thinks, in short, that if they Scotch tape or may have been another kind of tape, a Ziploc baggie of powdered carbon dioxide and zinc oxide in a plastic bag to the side of a water tower, like the thing that supplies water to your town, it will radiate the power of plasma to all of you. And
now, none of you asked for the power of plasma to be radiated at you, but that's fine. I don't mean to interrupt. You're doing a great job of capturing the unique craziness of what we've been going through here.
So, in the words from the poster, in any area we wish to bring peace and emotional balance through the use of plasma, we can simply start with the water. All you need is 2 liquid plasma patches of different strength that can be placed on the municipal water supplies. In this case, I have used CO2 and ZnO2, liquid plasma, on my local water tower. Imagine the impact this will have on my community. So, just a disclaimer, folks. If you fuck with your municipality's water supply, it's generally considered a felony and possibly a terrorist action.
Yeah, so please don't, what we're recommending here, because Rich and I are firmly believers in the whole use of cosmic plasma as a means by which to enhance the emotional balance of your neighborhood, because God knows we fucking need some emotional balance these days. So your main ingredients in this cocktail, if I'm not mistaken, Rich, are ZnO2, zinc oxide. For those of you who are playing along at home, That's fucking sunscreen. And CO2?
It's a CO2, yeah.
That's now where I'm from, that's carbon dioxide. And that is the shit that we exhale all the time, and the plants groove on, and they turn into photosynthesis, and awesome shit happens like food.
Huh. Okay, so it must be some kind of powdered form of carbon dioxide, like
Maybe they're doing sodium bicarbonate.
Yeah, that could be.
They're
the person's
of
probably a chemist. I might as well just ask them, right?
Oh, for fuck yeah! I mean, Tin Kansler, 10 times out of 10. That's the gal I'm going to for my chemistry help. So this led us down a rabbit hole.
Oh, did it?
So I'm not sure how much more I can paint on this guy tonight. So we're just gonna put him aside because this is too fascinating to not have up on the face cam.
Welcome back to your podcast. I painted a bunch of silver circles and I'm done.
Boom. But it got me in the mood to paint. I'll say that much, which is all I wanted to happen on this show. So this led us down the rabbit hole to something called GANs. Rich, would you help the listening audience to help them understand what GANs is?
Oh, this is difficult. So I'm probably going to screw this up, and you're the chemist here, or the chemical engineer.
Oh, that's okay. Do you know what GAN stands for? Because I looked this up earlier today.
Wait, it stands for something?
It is an acronym. It stands for carbon dioxide, gas in a solid state. So what this jackalope that created this whole pseudoscience was trying to do was figure out how to unfuck the world from global warming by tying up the carbon monoxide in some kind of solid state.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
So
so you follow the rabbit hole of this plasma stuck to this quote plasma stuck to the side of a water tower. And it leads back to something called the KFSSI Spaceship Institute.
Folks, I can't urge you enough to go to www.plasmaproduction.org. Plasmaproduction.org. This is the site that the Keshe Foundation, the SSI Spaceship Institute, is using to help you understand the technology of the future. A little something we like to call Magrav power units.
Okay. I didn't mention earlier. Part of being my former position as a aircraft mechanic in avionics, I had to have a good solid background in electronics in order to do so. So let me explain here. The short end of this whole thing, they are selling these modules that you connect to your power supply at home, meaning like your house. You plug it in, and it's a box that looks like I think it comes in white and blue.
Yes, and it depends on your decor. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah. I mean, you want it to blend in. It's like like a Google Home. You want it to be the right color.
Fuck yeah! You can't have any of that wrong color shit. That'll fuck up your plasma.
Mm-hmm. And it makes everything better and happy and rainbows and such. I will tell you this: they give you a few examples of how to try it yourself at home.
Absolutely.
And all they have you do is put a couple different chemicals into a container, and it oxidizes and rusts, and because that's what happens when there's a chemical reaction of a couple things, including metals.
Yes. So if you don't mind, Rich, I would like to read to the group from the Keshe Foundation R&D group how to make a Magrav power unit, build and grow. You don't just build a Magrav. You build and grow it, okay? So the
disclaimer, folks, do not do this. Okay?
Please don't do this. I don't recommend doing...
You're literally asking to burn your house down.
Listen, when you hear what first step one is, it's the best instruction you'll ever have. But don't do any of this. We don't recommend it. So this is what you're going to need. Okay, first of all, you're going to need some gauge 14 solid copper wire, about 20 or 30 meters of it to make 3 sets of Magrav coils. Okay, that's not bad. You can do that. You could, if Radio Shack still existed, that would be some place you could go to get that.
Yes.
You do need a nano coating kit. Refer to videos of YouTube. Videos of YouTube. Is that a new subscription service, by the way? The videos
it must be.
The wild videos of YouTube. You need a hand drill with 2 rods for inner and outer coil forming, or 2 screwdrivers with different rod diameter that can be inner and outer coils former. Okay. English as a second language. We're just going to give them that. Okay.
Okay.
Now that's fine. We have these things. We have hand drills. We have screwdrivers. We're all good. Now it's when it gets technical. Now you need, for step 4, you need GANS mix for coating the coils and putting on the center GANS container. So you have to buy some GANS. Okay?
Where would I buy GANS, John?
Probably on the store for this particular site. And it's not cheap, folks. GANS ain't cheap. You need plasma capacitor, 2 or 3 units. Rich, if you were looking for a plasma capacitor, where would you go?
I'd probably talk to the doc from Back to the Future.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe?
And the last thing you need, number 6, a lot of patience, prayers, and love in doing your Magrav unit. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have patience, prayers, and love in doing your Magrav power unit, you're fucked. You might as well not even try.
I mean, I have a lot of patience working in IT. I'll tell you that. However, I don't know if. This is hard, John. I don't know if we can make it.
I know. Well, maybe if I would explain the steps in making one of these, it might help you to understand your Magrav unit.
Yeah, let's do that.
So step number 1, pray and make the coils. 3 sets.
So step one is just do it.
Just pray.
Nope.
Pray and make the coils.
Pray and make the coils. Now, have you ever wound a coil like to make like a solenoid or like any kind of
No.
Coil armature kind of thing?
No, but I wish there was a website that would sell me a coil winder. Because
Boy, that would make it so much easier, wouldn't it?
If only there was also they sold GANs on that same website.
Wait a minute. I don't even have to make my own GANs.
No, you can get GANs in a package. It's great. Then step 2, nano coat the coils using standard caustic method and proper drying. There is no description anywhere on this planet of what the standard caustic method is or what the proper way to dry it is. There's no explanation at all.
That's why you prayed in step 1. They know what the hell
you needed
doing.
A revelation. Step 3, coating the coils with GANS mixture, paste/liquid, and dry it properly.
Wait a minute. So you have this coil, and you spray it with whatever the coating is.
Yeah.
And after it's thoroughly dried, you then spatula on the GANs.
Well, you're coating the coils.
Okay.
It doesn't exactly say spatula. At no point does it recommend the use of a spatula. But you better get it on there properly and allow it to dry properly. Assemble the coils and connect properly. Make sure to fold the ends of the wires towards itself. I have to believe, Rich, that has to do with capturing the plasma properly.
It must, because last I knew, a wire that just does this does this.
Just that.
That's it.
Yep.
Okay.
That's right. Okay, so now we assemble. Now, step 5, assemble the casing. At no point did they say that you had to have a casing. They listed all this shit. You had prayer, you had patience, you had plasma capacitors. There was no casing.
Marty, we have to go back.
I know, right? And properly arrange and stack all parts, including the GAN's center container.
Wait, that wasn't on the ingredients list?
That wasn't on the ingredients list. Where did I get the GAN center container? Connect, step 6. Connect the plasma capacitor properly.
Oh, okay.
These are the instructions, folks. This makes IKEA look like a fucking walk in the park.
They could have just skipped the whole thing and wrote, step 1, build this thing, don't fuck it up.
Yeah. It's just as informational. Then step 7, check the connections again. You can use electrical shrink tape to hold the connectors. Electrical shrink tape.
So this is what you don't do, is you have a connector here, you just do this and put shrink tape around it. Don't do that.
No, don't
do that ever.
Don't do that ever. Check the connections again. Okay, but number 8, install proper switches or breakers to the system. Ladies and gentlemen, this is probably the most important step.
It probably is, because this will save your house from.
This is how you keep the house from burning down. Yeah. I like smoke whisper. Hey y'all, watch this.
I would love to be in a room where an electrician shows up.
Wait,
and sees this.
You're getting ahead of us, Rich. That's step 9.
I'm sorry.
That's step 9.
Wait.
Always consult an electrical engineer or technician when connecting to the main power line.
Oh.
You don't plug this in your house. You connect it to the service outside, folks. The main power line.
Oh, this is so bad. I want to watch a YouTube video that shows like one of the good old Union Boy electricians who just shows up at someone's house who has this thing.
Well, I see your problem right here. What you got is a lack of GANs. Your GANs was not properly nano-coated on your first one, and don't even get me started on your GAN center container. You don't even get me started on that. Then step 10, because
Wait, there's a step 10?
Oh yeah, because you've completed step 1 through 9 fucking flawlessly. Build another one for your neighbor and relatives. Build another one.
Wait a minute. If one gives off all this free energy and positive plasma, isn't one enough?
Oh my God. I wonder if I can put a screen share up on here like instantaneously. So let me see if I can do this. Screen capture. And we're going to go.
It's 9 o'clock, by the way, Eastern.
Okay, we're going to make this fast. We're going to quick do this. And then we're going to do this, I think.
So while you're doing this, I just realized the banner on the KFSSI page is what looks like a paper mache tennis ball with a spark plug stuck in the end.
Very nice.
I just see a black
box, and it's not working, so we're just going to get rid of that. But guys, I can't recommend, I should say, enough that you need to go experience this. This is it's wonderful science. And make sure you look at all of the wiring diagrams, because they are literally the dumbest thing. But the payoff, folks, the payoff is the last one. It's page, I think, 13 here, where they show one of these fuckers set up. And it literally looks like all they've done is jumper the main grid across a pair of leads to a power strip. And it's just amazing.
So you can skip all this stuff, and you can buy a plasma power unit, and then parentheses on grid.
On grid.
Right now they're running a deal where you can save 13%.
Mm-hmm.
So you can buy it for the low price of $899.
Woo!
If this isn't a scam, I don't know what one is.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your greatest teaser you're going to have for JohnCon 2018, because 2018, it is going to be coffee and chemtrails with Rich and John, and you're going to have to come to JohnCon 2018 to experience that. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Painting with Ben Off John, The Return. I hope you all enjoyed the time. Thank you, Rich, for helping me kick this back off. I got some little like silver bullets painted on my Helios. That's more than I usually got done on the fucking show, but it helped inspire me, and thank you for being a part of the show.
Thank you very much for having me, John. It was a pleasure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is your semi-whenever fucking podcast of painting. This is Painting with Ben Off John. Good night, everybody.